Welcome back to the channel. My name is Craig, and today we're going to talk about weeks 2 and 3 of my recovery from ACL reconstruction, as well as bucket handle tear on my anterior, and then a radial tear on my other side of the knee. We talked about the surgery. We talked about week 1. Week 2 and 3 were pretty much the same. Spent essentially both of those weeks trying to gain full extension of the leg. So we talked about at the end of week 1, the brace would come off, and I would, the brace came off just for a little bit, but they set the range of motion to 90 degrees, so I could go full extension or 90. And for the next several weeks, weeks 2 and 3, I essentially kept that knee brace on at all times unless I was doing some type of physical therapy. Guys, the best thing I can tell you to do, the main thing that you need to focus on is working on full extension. Don't worry about your flexion, full extension. And then the thing that helped me the most was isometric holds, especially since they pulled from my quad. Basically sitting on the ground with my legs out and then trying to squeeze my quad or drive my knee down to the ground as best as possible. So I did that. So quad, like isometrics. Another thing too is trying to get used to basically raising my leg by myself instead of having to grab my brace to lift my leg. If I'm sitting on the couch or whatnot, a lot of times I would sit with it straight because I still did not have the flexion at the time, which once again, at this early in the stage is not that important. But I wanted to get to the point to where if I needed to move my leg off of the couch and onto the ground to stand up on crutches, I wanted to get to the point to where I could do that myself by engaging my hip flexors and my quads, not necessarily having to grab my brace and do that. So isometrics were a big thing, both working the quad, and then also I'd work my adductors and then my hamstrings and my glutes, basically just trying to stand up and then kicking back and then trying to isometrically hold all those positions. It is amazing how much muscle degradation happens so quickly when you don't use certain muscles. It was amazing. So those were really the 3 things that I did. So those isometric holds, and then also I started to get some ankle weights. I'll have a link for that below because I started working up like 2 pounds, 4 pounds, and up to 10. I'll have some links for an Amazon product down below. But I really started working on leg extensions, trying to build that muscle back up. So pain-wise, week 3 was a little bit better than week 2. I still slept with the brace on at all times. Week 2 pain was still pretty solid. I found that the hydrocodone that they gave me doesn't really work. The meloxicam, which I believe is it's an anti-inflammatory. I would actually take that right before I went to bed because that did the best job at allowing me to sleep through the night. It kind of took the edge off the most, and it lasted a lot longer than what that hydrocodone did. So meloxicam I learned right before bedtime really helped. Weeks 2 and 3 just kind of blended in together, just a continuation. Starting to get a little bit more working on moving my leg by itself, really working on isometrics, really working on trying to regain that quad strength. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Work on that extension. Isometric holds, I still do those to this day, right? I'm coming up on 6 months post-op. I still do isometrics, and they really help making basically that CNS connection back to your muscles. So weeks 2 and 3 still kind of sucking at this point, but continuing rehab, really working on that extension, and then just gradually building up that muscle mass. So guys, if you have any questions about anything that we've gone over, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Hang in there. It does get better. I will tell you this, and I have seen this from personal experience. Guys, if you're not doing the work outside of PT, you're not going to make any improvement, right? Your session with your physical therapist, however frequent or infrequent that is just a baseline. That is just a test to figure out or to see where you are at and where we can progress. And so if you're not doing work outside of physical therapy, you are wrong. That's where you make all your gains. So do as much of those ISOs, as much of those exercises as you can, just to work on, like I said, getting that range of motion back and then starting to build that strength back up. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be safe, be smart, be skilled. Catch you on the next one.